So for today's video, we're going to be fixing up more than likely this Hoover with parts from this one. Now this machine is a little worse for wear. It's got a few different things wrong with it. It actually looks a little bit more modern than this one does, and I do like the coloring on this one a little bit better. But as you guys can see, the crackheads already cut the cord out, so not too much of a shocker there. And it's really not a huge loss with this thing. I do have the dirt cup for it, but this machine is really dirty, and it's got mold underneath it. So a lot of the parts from this thing are just going to go straight to the can. However, I do need this bottom piece right here, which has this adjuster on it. And the reason for that is I did try to fix this thing with epoxy. This little spot that it goes into is actually screwed up, so the whole wheel assembly just kind of falls off and it's cracked and screwed up, so there's really no fixing that. So what we're going to have to do is swap out the bottom base from the other vacuum onto this one. Wheel assembly on this thing is actually still good, but this is the part we care about right here. So in effect, we have to completely dismantle everything on this and take this base off and put it on the other machine. Now we have the brush roll. That belt's still in good condition. Take this off because we might need this. I don't know the condition of the other belt, but I believe these are style 65 belts. They're a flat belt. This brush roll is in need of some service. I don't think I'm going to bother with it just because of all the mold that's on this thing. So that's going to go in the can. So for these machines, you have to remove the wind tunnel chamber in order to get this out. And then this whole wind tunnel chamber should come out. It's actually a good wheel assembly, but this is the part we need, and we're going to have to remove all of this stuff. So this all comes out as one piece, which is good. Looks like we're going to have to disassemble the whole back piece here. That's not long enough. Now we're just going to pull the screws out. Good condition. Same with the other side. Alright, so how I clean this stuff is I like to use isopropyl alcohol. I spray the whole thing down, and then because the garden hose is right outside, I spray it all off after I'm done. So I'll be right back. Going to go about like that. We are going to need this little thing. Which one's in better shape? Probably this one. This one's a little worn out here, so we're going to use this one. Now we'll need both of these caps, and I guess we can go ahead and go back together with the top of the unit. We can finish everything else. So obviously we're not going to install the belt just yet, because we do have to going to put a little bit of lubricant on both sides. This side too, because with these Hoovers, they like to squeak both of these pivot points. So just a little bit, and we'll clean up whatever leaks out. These two. Just enough so we can drop it down to get better access. So these wheels are cheap and plasticky. Those are actually rubberized. So I'm going to try and swap them over. Old plastic wheel, new rubber wheels on both sides. So I've gotten this all cleaned up pretty nice. But wheel axle assembly is all cleaned off now. Still a little wet, but right. So now the good roller brush. And I've already torn this thing apart and serviced it. Spins really nicely now. Should be worth noting that these brush rolls are actually fairly inexpensive. So in the event that you actually have to replace one, it's really not that big of a deal to do so. And I am torquing these all down on setting 1. And we'll tighten them up, just making sure they're all nice and tight. So there we have it. They're all tight. Check the torque on them. So I'm just cleaning up the extendable hose. And slide this one in first. I'm just going to install this hose. Not really an airtight seal there, but hopefully it'll be okay. Exterior hose is on. So now just to clean up the rest of this thing, and we'll put the dirt cup back on and give you guys a demo. Alright, so the vacuum itself is more or less finished. I am going to go and take this over, disassemble it, and clean it up. It needs to be serviced, filter inside it needs to be washed. That'll be a separate video, so when I clip back in, this thing will be done and ready to reinstall on the machine. Alright, so it's all been cleaned out. And just to reinstall, and now we'll do a quick bench test. So we'll turn it on. Light works too. Nice. So it's not too bad. I do have to replace this HEPA filter. I don't have another one of these on hand, and unfortunately the HEPA filter from the other vacuum is a different filter. So this is the other filter. Really clean, just a little bit of debris on the bottom there, but you guys can see it's a different filter, so it's not going to work. I'm going to keep that. if I ever get another vacuum that needs that filter, so I'm going to have to source another filter for this one. So it seems to work okay. Not too bad there. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Cord reel seems to work okay. I have not pulled this thing out completely. Inspected the whole cord. Looks like there's a little bit more in there, but it just doesn't want to come out. Gotta be careful when you do that though. So it's got the yellow line and there's the red in the end of the cord. So looks like we got a little bit of damage right here. So I'm going to have to hit that with some electrical tape. I think with these machines it's easier just to replace the whole cord reel. I think it comes with a whole new cord in it, but I'm just going to hit this with some electrical tape and be done with it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video on this thing. It's pretty nice being able to refurbish one of these, and effectively I haven't bought the filter yet, but it hasn't cost me any money. So stay tuned for more.